Well, overnight, the massive group of Conservative Party candidates vying for the leadership positions were whittled down to a final 8. Now the voting begins amongst Tory MPs via the powerful 1922 committee, where over the next week they'll vote in multiple ballots until we end up with a final 2. And then those 2 will go to rank and file party members across the country who'll make the ultimate decision. Former Chancellor Rishi Sunak is leading the pack, but only amongst MPs. If you get out there amongst Conservative Party members, people like former Foreign Secretary Liz Truss, the former Trade Minister Penny Mordaunt are very popular with members. Joining me now to cover all of this here and around the world, former Labor MP Michael Danby and Sky News contributor Kosha Gada. I have to say from the outset, Kosha, not a quota in sight, and 4 of these final 8 candidates are women. And plenty of diversity too, from a party that people like to pretend is full of toffs. Do you look at that list of 8? It's anything but.
100% true, Peta. Good to be with you. But, you know, I think the reality is the opposition party, both in the UK and in their counterparts in liberal democracies everywhere, who have decided that identity politics and sort of denigrating the other side as being uninclusive and, you know, against equality and all of that, it will never be enough. And so the best thing they can do is let those facts speak for themselves, point reporters and journalists to it when asked, and then move on to what this is really about, which is that the Conservative Party has an identity crisis, and they have to figure out how to appeal to the swath of the electorate that put them into this 80-seat majority in 2019, and yet, you know, has led to this moment with Boris Johnson resigning and what that actually symbolizes.
It'll be interesting, Michael, because there could be a chance that the MPs will put Rishi Sunak in their final 2, and he might be someone that, and we know from the polls, at least this far, that the party membership don't want a bar of. I mean, a lot of them like Liz Truss, but she's got to run the gauntlet of her colleagues to even get out there for the member. Well, actually, it's quite like what happens in the Labor Party here in Australia under your new rules too.
It'd be great if one of the 2 women could be the new leader of the Tories. They have to be careful because, you know, with the members, they're most important that they support Brexit. And a couple of those, I don't think Liz Truss does. And the Labor Party's breathing down their neck. Starmer got off his charges from the coppers in Durham, and they're well ahead in the polls. So they need to be careful. Probably a woman, but certainly a Brexiteer.